My name is Nashikta Authar Angadh and I'm a partner at KPMG in South Africa. I currently head up the business resilience and continuity services for the firm in South Africa. I would say I prepare my clients for unplanned and planned disasters. So I do this by deeply entrenching myself in the organization to understand the critical processes and the risks that my clients face. And I use this to develop a fit-for-purpose business recovery strategy that they can use in the event of a disaster. If I think back to where this journey began, I remember a few of the lead business resiliency managers leaving the firm. And I sat and spoke to my peer and I said, what are we going to do now? Who do we learn from? Where do we get the guidance from? And he said to me, why do you need anyone? You've got all the books, all the literature to learn from. And I realized from then, I just need to roll up my sleeves, embrace the books, soak up and just entrench all of this information and learn from my clients. So my biggest learning has been from my clients and my team as well. In terms of who specifically helped me along the way, I've had a mentor who's a close colleague who's steered me in the right direction, always supported me, and has just been my North Star, I suppose, in this career that I've been in for the last 14 years. I think my inspiration comes from a number of sources, whether it's books that I read, videos that I watch, and a number of people also inspire me, like my mom. But if I had to single out one individual, I think it would be my dad. Growing up in the apartheid, my dad wasn't able to complete his studies at school. However, despite all of the challenges he's faced, he's managed to beat the odds and make a success of his life. He is an amazing soul, and the work that he's done in the little way that he has to change the lives of so many people actually inspires me to remember to balance my accomplishments with remembering who I am and where I've come from. I think to demonstrate men and women in business, I want to relate a little story. A few months ago, I was in a board meeting with a lot of very powerful men and women in South Africa. And the tea lady walked in and placed a tea tray on the table between a gentleman and a lady. And I looked at the lady and I could see her glaring at this tea tray, thinking that if she starts making the tea for everybody in the room, it reduces her power in the room. At that moment, the gentleman stood up cheerfully and started passing around the tea. And it made me realize that, yes, in the past, historically, there has been a lot of differences and challenges between men and women in business. And we've done a great job and we've been quite progressive with creating platforms for women. So I would say that women need to be bold, to make the tea and not worry about what everyone has to think and their opinions. If I look at my accomplishments to date, something I'm quite proud of is the Business Continuity Institute. They host an award ceremony every year, and I was fortunate enough to win the Business Continuity Africa Resilience and Continuity Specialist for 2019. I'm now entered into the global category, and of course what I would want going forward is to be successful in my category. Other achievements, I think the philanthropist in me, because I've been involved in the development of continuity strategies for a number of governmental departments, I think I'd want to take it further and build on this to develop a strategy for South Africa, so a country-wide strategy. I think there's a number of things that I can attribute to creating a work-life balance. The first would be an excellent support structure. So my mom and mom-in-law, having them minding my son while I'm traveling and doing what I do, helps me to focus on what needs to be done in my day. The KPMG culture is a very flexible culture, so it allows me to be almost everywhere all the time. So I find that is a great help to the work-life culture. I also focus on business during business hours, and I make it a priority to separate family time and not, diddle-daddle during the day and it goes into my personal time. I think what I'm really grateful for to create this perfect work-life balance, if I can call it perfect, is that I must have done something right in my last life, because I have a husband who loves doing the laundry and washing dishes too. So He's someone who cheers me on, who always pushes me to put my hand up and take on any opportunity that comes my way, even though it's added pressure for him, but that has been quite supportive. And then if all else fails, just pray for the energy, tolerance, the patience, the guidance to be a good parent, because I think that is the biggest aspect of me creating this work-life balance. So growing up, I was a very diligent and assiduous student, which often made me unpopular with some of the school kids. And as a result, I flew under the radar in high school. I didn't want to attract too much of attention. And then in university, I decided to just be authentically me. And well, it worked out quite well, because I am where I am today because of this. So I think my advice to myself, my younger self, would be to not shy away from shining. I know I'm confident of my strengths, and I should use it and just own it.